good.
We're good. All right, Buff Nation, what is going on? What a way to start your Christmas vacation, your Christmas break, the weekend. Fantastic. Jordan Seaton finally signs, and we got a lot to talk about. Shout out to the chat. I'll give you guys a shout out here in a minute, but want to welcome again my good friend Clarence from Truck and Chubby. Man, what is going on? I appreciate your flexibility. I'm glad we're finally able to connect this week.
Hey man, me too, man. Hey, nothing much, man. I just wanted to start off by telling you and everybody else, happy holidays. I hope y'all enjoy it with y'all loved ones or people that's close to y'all. And thanks for having me again, Buff Nation. I love being here kicking it with y'all.
Oh, man, I love it, man. And yeah, y'all be sure to go check out Chubby's channel. I got it linked in the description as well. But man, let's go ahead and get into the big news. And I'm sure you're gonna have some great takes on everything connected to this. But hey, Jordan Seaton, it looked a little uneasy on Wednesday. Was it planned? Was it not? I don't know. But at the end of the day, Colorado, Coach Prime, the Sanders family, everybody, we got the deal signed. It's taken care of. What are your thoughts on Jordan Seaton? Was he added to this team? And I guess then we can kind of get into the greater recruiting discussion after that.
Whew. Let me take a breather. Nah. Look, man, he was hanging out with Bucky. It's part of the algorithm, man. They knew what they were doing. I want y'all to go and look at my Twitter. I was talking in the spaces earlier. It's all new, but I predicted that Seaton was going to sign. I already knew he was going to for sure. I wasn't worried about him not signing, to be honest, man. It's all part of, getting the clicks and the likes and everything. He's still young, so you got to kind of give him a break with that, man. But no worries, and I don't think everybody should have been stressing about that, man. They do an awesome job, the staff at Colorado, with working the algorithm and the internet, man. So, that's all that was.
Hey, at the end of the day, man, everybody was still talking about Colorado recruiting, whether that was in a positive or a negative tone. And at the end of the day, we've still been the most discussed program probably in college football right now, which is still, honestly mind blowing. But I think the staff's done a great job. There's been some criticism about kind of the strategy that Coach Prime and the program has taken with the high school to transfer ratio. What are your thoughts right now on all that and the guys that they've brought in?
The staff at Colorado University is absolute genius. The way that, and I want to give credit to the staff and not just Coach Prime, because it's all of those guys as a collective doing what they do in the portal. And this is the new way to attack the way that the college football landscape is going. It's going in this way, and this is the exact way to attack it now by the portal and getting these guys that have some experience, whether they were on a team backing up someone or whether it's not. And I just wanted to point out and also say too, David, that CU has started a whole trend with the way that they're attacking the portal. They're getting bashed for that, while schools like Texas A&M is getting credit for the new way that they're doing things, and Ole Miss and so forth and so on. But they're copying what CU does. They got ahead of this, because some people might say, Coach Prime don't have the experience, but his staff does. Look how much experience his staff has around him, rather from the FBS level to the FCS level. You got coaches coming from HBCU. You got coaches coming from the pros. They're all coming together. One's been around Nick Saban for years. So they know the college landscape in all facets of it, in every angle, from every angle it's hitting them. And they came together and they put together some awesome picks. And I wanted, the defense, they did a very, very great job building that defense. When you got returning players such as like Travis Hunter, Trevor Woods, Carmani McClain, Shiloh Sanders coming back, that front that they put together with them is just going to be awesome and great, and once again, CU staff has done an amazing job, and I want to give credit to the staff up there with Coach Prime and the way that they attack the portal. It's the new way.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And yeah, this has been pretty interesting because you're totally right. There are like other schools that have done this, and all you seem to see is that they're praised for doing it. Is it because these teams such as Ole Miss or whatever? I mean, I think they finished ranked this year. You know, they had a really good year. Is it because um, is it just because hey, we're starting from ground up? Is that why people don't like it? No, it's probably just because Coach Prime is he's the way he is. He's going about it with a lot of attention and with a swagger and a style to it. But yeah, you see other schools like Florida State, you know, they've had success in the portal. SMU is another school that somebody brought up to me yesterday who is doing pretty much the exact same thing where they are signing very small high school classes. They had 10 signees this week, and then the
Mm-hmm.
rest are Power Five transfers. Power Five transfers come to their program, and it's pretty funny, man. Whenever Prime's doing it, I guess it's more of like, does he understand what he's doing? But it's a clear method to the madness, and I think again, you know, there's been criticism over, and I think it's fair. You know, should Coach Prime and the staff do more home visits and stuff like that? And the way that I'm kind of reading it, man, is like if your primary focus is 3/4 of your players through the portal, like you don't
Mm-hmm.
do home visits for guys that are already in college. It's just not that um, as much of an importance. But yeah, it's a different kind of strategy. Um, that's why I'm starting to think maybe if Pat Shermer's the OC, it might not be like as bad as I initially expected in terms of the recruiting. If we're just going to continue to go after portal guys most years, I mean, what do you think about that?
It's the new way, Dave. You hit the nail, man. You hit it right on. Everything you said, man, is totally right, man. I mean, it's the new way, in the way that he hit the portal. You also have to pay attention to how he's getting guys who have to wait at least a year to transfer afterwards too.
Hmm.
This is the closest that you're going to get to a contract. I mentioned contracts. They're here, y'all. We cannot sit here and look at it and say no, we don't need contracts. It's already hit it that way. It's going to give both parties a peace of mind. I know a lot of people are not fans of saying that they need contracts. Well, something has to be written up for that.
Yeah.
But since there's not, the way that this CU staff is hitting the portal, notice y'all that they're hitting guys that cannot leave for
Yeah.
at least a year. So that's the closest you're getting to a contract. That gives them a little bit of peace of a mind, knowing where they need a plug, give them their development, and keep moving on. And that's why you're not seeing a lot of CU guys go back into the portal. I don't know where these rumors are coming from, but I gotta give credit when credit's due. Nobody from CU is hitting the portal, going here and going here. Yeah, you may have lost three people out of
Mhm.
what 850, 80 something that you brought in last year. That's great. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
great. So look, man, no worries. And that's my take on that, man. That's all I have to say about that. They're changing things, period.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's pretty smart because I mean we saw it before Coach Prime was here as well, Chubby, where when Mel Tucker left, after he had signed, you know, one of our best classes in a long time, he left for Michigan State literally a week
Mhm.
after. And yeah, you know, credit to Darren Cheverini and a lot of the staff that was there. I mean, we kept those guys that signed, and they stayed there and played, which was wonderful. But that next year is really when we started to see a mass exodus of players in the year prior after that, or the year after that as well, where they, you know, essentially the whole team had, you know, those transfers that they could use. And that's when, you know, after COVID and all of that, that's when we started to see the mass exodus of the talent that we had left
Mhm.
leave. I think right now, with what you pointed out, is we're taking a lot of guys that are using their free transfer. So at least with how the rules are right now, that could always change. But the next time you can transfer is maybe in a couple years or so for some of these players at the earliest, when they earn that graduate transfer where they can play that extra year at another school. So this, in a weird way, going through the transfer portal actually kind of mitigates risk of like large turnover with your team. Although
Mhm.
you know, they have less years of eligibility than a guy coming in, you know, playing 4 years. But what what do you think about like these
Mhm.
contracts and stuff like that? How would you envision them working?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really haven't gave too much thought into the contracts. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But first off, I mean, like a little bit of the contracts. I'm not sure if like if they get hurt during the season, it'll affect their scholarship or not. So if there
Mhm.
was a contract written up, perhaps it would say that they're still allowed to keep their scholarship for their studies and give them a little peace of mind on that, knowing that they'll still be able to get their education if an injury was to happen. God forbid that happen to any of them, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
athletes. But perhaps that may help them there. It'll give the coaches a peace of mind. It can also help with some of the NIL deals. The fact that you got some money coming in, and you know how much per game or anything like that. Because I mean, let's just be real. They're already some kind of an employee to their said university.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you look at it in totality, right? You know what I'm saying? So he said, what did he say? What did Mr. Murray say?
Oh, right there.
No,
Oh,
he said, can you
right here. He's like, can you give someone a contract for getting them a true NIL deal? What if they don't
don't
have the
have the
money?
money?
Where do you get it from?
Like if you the schools
Yeah.
ultimately, Mr. Murray, the schools are gonna have to give these players contracts, right? You know what I mean? Ultimately, it's going to have to come from there. And I know it's far fetched, and I know everybody's saying, but it's already here. The NCAA opened the door, and I'm sure the schools are not happy about what's going on and what's taking place with the portals and all these students wanting NIL deals, but it's already here. They already let the door in. This is the only way you're going to control some of this flow, this committing, decommitting. I don't even like to use that word because
Yeah.
there's no such thing in a dictionary, but that's the only way you're going to control some of this flow is putting contracts down, and the schools are going to have to step up and do so, or allowing players to sign contracts locally with, I don't know, with Mr. Maurice's media, or or
Yeah.
Trucking Chubby or whoever else, and letting us sign players, or whatever, how that may work. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so you know what I mean. So, but in somewhere in that realm, you guys get what I'm saying here, to lock that down, to have some peace of mind there, man, and it's going to work for both parties.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is a process I think that is just starting, where there is going to be more structure put in place, but it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of groundwork, a lot of lawyers to figure all this out, because it is, it's
yes,
over my head. But
yes,
yeah, I think right now, with how the rules are being played, where it's kind of the Wild West, I think this program, the entire staff is doing a great job. I think, again, that we've gotten a handful of players that should come in here and provide an immediate upgrade, in depth or at a starting position. But I want to bring this a little bit back closer to Colorado right now, Chubby. Is there,
okay.
in terms of the transfers or recruits, is there anybody in particular that you're really excited about, that you really have your eye on, or anybody that really surprised you?
Sam, okay, now I'm bad with names, y'all. Don't
I can
I'm
help
bad.
you.
Samuel, no,
Okunloa.
Oken what? Oh, what?
Okunloa.
Okay, Okanola. Okay, okay,
Close
Okanola.
enough.
Samuel Okanola. Okay, so I'm excited about him. Why? When you look at his tape, y'all, no, he's not the super sexy pick that everybody's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with him is Coach Kelly is meticulous on being in the right spots on your defense.
Mhm.
One thing you can count on with this transfer from Pitt is that he's always going to be in the right spot when he's needed to be there. You
Mhm.
watch the tape, he if he's to take the outside away and bring the play inside, he's doing just that. If he's to be inside, taking the play, moving the play further out, he's doing just that. And that is what Coach Kelly loves. Y'all
Yeah.
seen Coach Kelly last year on the sidelines, throwing his hat, screaming and yelling at the players because they were out of place sometimes. As the year went on, later on in the season, we start seeing CU being in the right spots, and that defense looked it fantastic. That's when we started to notice, oh my goodness, if we had a little bit of upgrade at defensive line, we would be dangerous. And that's where all these new recruits come in.
Mhm.
Um, You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it right there. You know, that's one pick that I'm excited to see. The guy from Houston, Chozy, Chido-
Chidoze.
yeah, Chidozie,
I learned that I've been pronouncing it wrong. Chidoze.
Wankwo.
Wonkwo. I kept saying
Okay,
Wankwo.
that's
Kept
all
saying
good.
wank. Why am I saying wank, man?
Pause.
Wonkwo.
Pause. Pause. I look, but you know him. He was at Houston. He's a big run stopper. We know that his hands fantastic. He uses them for weapons. He's a hole plugger. The only thing that they use them in Houston wrong, and I hope that CU doesn't do it, is that they only use them for run defenses, and that
Mhm.
gave that away in Houston a whole lot because of like, you know what I mean? Because when he was on the field, they knew that Houston was in a run defense. So they, you know, sometimes they would pass and they would beat up on him. But I think that he was good in both ways, but he's a perfect hole plugger. I think him and Bishop Thomas is going to look great both side by side in that middle. And you're going to see them get busy with a whole lot of plays, man. I mean, it's going to be Pick City back there. Cameron Solomon Craig, Trevor Woods, Shiloh Sanders, Kermani McLean, Travis Hunter, Pick City. They're gonna get ready. It's gonna be coverage sacks, and when there ain't a coverage sack, they just gonna be getting back there, beating up them quarterbacks. And we all seen how quarterbacks act under pressure if they ain't Shador Sanders. They throwing picks. So let's just
Yeah.
get ready for that.
No,
I'm excited to see that.
no doubt. Yeah. I was pumped to see us bring in Preston Hodge as well. He's a guy that I think is going to be utilized in a slot corner a lot. I mean, um, Liberty undefeated season. He graded out, for whatever that's worth. I think like a top 20 cornerback in FBS this past year. So he's going to provide you know, more quality at this cornerback position as well. And in terms of depth as well, we still have guys like Omarion Cooper. I felt that played really well in spurts, and having somebody like you pointed out, Samuel Okunlowa back there, as well as a guy that I think is a pretty underrated piece, a guy that right now I would probably pencil in as a starting edge alongside of Okunlowa is Kentucky transfer Keaton Wade. I mean, with those guys rushing the passer, productive playmakers, rush the passer and play well against the run, our secondary is going to have a lot more success. And yeah, man, like this is just crazy because I don't think that obviously it's still December, man. We're not even fully done with this whole portal thing. We probably got another 15 players or so to go. We'll see who enters the portal,
Mhm.
but I still feel like we have a substantial amount of players to bring in, and a lot of the holes that we're patching, it's substantial, but we still got work to do. What are your thoughts?
He brought in disciplined players.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as what's coming in right now is discipline. Penalties killed last year. Killed you, like killed. So he brought in more players that's disciplined. When you watch these defensive players, especially Keaton Wade and everybody else that's on there, when you get to looking at those kids, you see discipline in them. They're in the right spots where they need to be, and that's what Charles Kelly he harps so much on that because once you're in the right spot on that defense is going to make plays. I'm a little concerned with the O line, just a little bit, because just of
Yes.
they have to be able to get to know each other, and that's a hard position to do that. And
Mhm.
maybe we need a couple more dogs there on the O line. But as far as the defense goes, man, I'm super excited to see what that defense is going to do. I mean, just the way it is right now on paper is sick. It's like out of this world. You know, the offense, though, the offensive line is something that I'm a little concerned with. And y'all gotta admit that you gotta be a little concerned with the O line, you know what I mean? Just a little bit like, okay, what's gonna happen here if not? But I mean, what you think about those? What you think about that,
The
honestly?
O line's a great question because again, I don't want to get myself in any trouble here, but I think like sometimes how we look at this stuff is maybe a little too like black and white when it comes to the
Mhm.
line performance. It's either bad or elite type of thing,
Yeah,
or we just go from bad to elite,
mhm.
over in one cycle. But this might sound crazy, um, but in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I am hoping, Chubby, and this was my hope for this past year. We didn't get it, obviously, but I was just saying, hey, if we can just have average offensive line play, like this offense is going to be great. And I mean, that's why I picked them to win 4 more games than they won this past year. Is I thought we were going to get average offensive line play. Turns out what we got was like the 130th ranked offensive line, or the worst in college football. And you don't. It's kind of miraculous that we won as many games as we did with that type of line. But um, I think it's probably lofty, but I think it can be done. Is like, can we go from 130th to like 60th in FBS? If we exceed that, I mean, that is freaking amazing. But that's a substantial jump.
Yes.
That's 70 spots. But if we can kind of get around that average performance in FBS football, we're going to be able to protect Shador so much better. We're talking about cutting those sacks in half. We're talking about being able to have a run game to help this offense. I think we've really improved our interior with the guys like Tyler Johnson, Justin Mayers. Both of those guys were really rated, highly. Tyler Johnson's a Power 5 starter. Justin Mayers, I mean, had offers from all the elite Power 5s, coming up from UTEP. And but yeah, we're just going to have to see, because we got somebody like Tyler Brown coming in that I would expect to right now start at center. But who knows, how Yakiri Walker turns out, or right now, I'm not really sure what happens at right tackle. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting competition between Khalil Benson and Savion Washington. Not totally sure there. And then I do think Jordan Seaton isn't coming here unless he knows that he's gonna be given priority to start. Of course, everybody has to earn it, but I think he has a wide open lane to run straight into a starting left tackle spot week 1.
He's starting.
I feel a little bit better about the interior than I do the tackles right now. But what you think about that?
Jordan Seaton's starting. He's starting. You got to start him. I mean, that's the only way he's going to get better. He's the only way he's going to improve. He's going to have growing pains just like anybody else would coming in, but you have to start him. And absolutely, we definitely can run the ball this year. Most definitely can run the ball. You got some guys on that offensive line. Every one of them can run block. Everybody they brought in. As long as you can give Shador 4 seconds, man. That's it. That's a long time for him. That is a very long time for somebody like Shador. But I think that Yakari Walker's a little questionable to me. I'm being honest. I know they about to jump on me, but UConn, oh man, I'm just being honest. Look, he's a little questionable to me, but everybody else, I think that everybody else is solid. I think everybody else is solid. And I do want to say that Cash Cleveland coming in is a straight up dog. Listen, he spent the first 3 seasons, just a little bit about him, at Rockwell Health High School in Texas. He then spent
6A football in Texas. That's as high as it gets.
he went for his senior year to IMG Academy to play up there. He had offers from Georgia Tech, Tennessee, USF. Look, the kid got good feet, great feet, I would say, for a center, because you got to remember, you're snapping the ball, then you have to attack your blocker. So that's hard work. That's not easy to do. I know they make it look easy, but quick feet, good base, great hands. He finishes his food all the time. I know they call it something else in the business, but that's what Chuck and Chubby call it. He finishes his food all the time. I like that about him. And look, I don't know if he's going to come in and be a straight up day one starter, but I wouldn't put it past him. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what goes on between Tyler Brown and Cash. Let's see what they do there with some swapping around there. And that's what I'm saying. Just getting them together now, hoping they enroll early, because we've seen what enrolling early does versus coming in during the spring to the fall. When you enroll, you're there all winter, all spring into the fall. You see a totally different player on the field than what you see if they come in late in the spring. So that is the only thing that concerns me with that line. And I would told y'all that. But look, other than that, if they can get in there and get the work, man, they're going to be good. They'll be solid. They will be solid.
No doubt. And I think, more of these guys that we're bringing in, I think if you take time to go look at where they were playing, or their highlights or clips, their tape, whatever you want to say, at their last schools. I mean, they play more mean than than how our line played last year, and that counts for something, man. It really does. I think Phil Oldholt is going to instill a more aggressive energy and aggressive approach with these guys. And yeah, I'm pumped to have a guy like Cash Cleveland here with some other guys here to develop, such as, Philip Houston's another commit transfer that we got from FIU. We got Hank Zielinskis still here. He was a true freshman backup center this past year. So there's guys coming in here that I think they have the opportunity to sit back a little bit and be developed. And I mean, last year, we just didn't have the guys, through injury as well. I mean, we were running Savion Washington out there with half a leg out there because, we didn't even have David Connor, because of his torn pec. But I'm sorry, Chubby, I got a couple of super chats I got to get to here real quick.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Bodie, thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Yo, David, what do you think about Cam Michael being put in the offense with the rest of the weaponry? Woo! Yeah, Cam Michael, man, he's one of those guys that you can line him up at running back, slot, outside wide receiver. He kind of reminds you of old CU fans, LaVisca Chenault, somebody that can make plays from all over the field. Yak monster, kind of like Deebo Samuel, just get him the ball and see what he can do. I'm pumped, man. This offense, as long as we get the protection, man, it's going to be hard to stay on these guys longer than a second or two. You know what I'm saying? Chubby, you got any other things to add with Michael?
Look, Mike, you hit it. That Michael he's an all around weapon. I know a lot of people might not be super popular in hearing this, but I believe he's one of the guys that could come in and give Travis Hunter a little breather on offense, come in and put in some work and make some plays. Limiting, managing, not limiting, but managing Travis Hunter time on the field, and he could come in and make a couple good plays and maybe even earn a starting position. But yes, he's a straight up beast, all round guy. You know what I mean? I like to see him in a slot more, though, to be honest.
Hey, I think that'd be fun. Hey, can we just incorporate some pre-snap motion too? Getting in the ball really easily, right? As we, what all these schools did against us. Chris E, want to say thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He's saying, I do think the offensive line is good. There's competition now in that room. I still think we need a big run stopper at the D line and some at linebacker. I would agree with you. We still got to go and find some more guys for that front seven. I'll start with you, though, Chubby. Is there any like physical archetype or something, that you're looking at specifically for this D line or the linebacker room?
I'm not looking at. I don't have nobody eyes on from the defensive line right now. Like I said, I thought the defensive line was pretty solid the way it looks right now. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they can bring in for a run stopper would be great. But like I said, I think Bishop Thomas and
Martin McNeil.
I think they can get it done. Honestly, as far as the runs goes. And they do have guys in there right now that can make a lot of plays off that defensive line. So, I really didn't get our thought, but offensive line, yes, I do have somebody in mind.
Well, then let's get to it because, we should ignore the offensive line, man. I'm with you, man. Keep bringing in more bodies. Who you got for
us? So, Ruben Unigi from Houston.
Houston, yes.
Yeah, man. I seen his film, man. He's ready to go right now. All round great guy. Like, look, I ain't seen nothing on him. When you're going against elite defenders, period, you're going to struggle a little bit with anybody who's elite at their position. But I seen a straight up dog. He's great run blocking, great pass blocking, good footwork, good handwork. Look, he's just what Shedeur need. I actually seen him give that quarterback at Houston an extra 2 seconds of blocking. Man, and if he can give that to Shedeur, it's crazy. Like that's all he need. You give him an extra 2 seconds. Oh, excuse me. I'm just getting over the COVID. So, but yeah, you give him an extra 2 seconds, man. Oh man, it's over. And that's what I like when I seen Ruben. So I had got my eyes on him, 6'5", 310, and he moves like he's 250.
Yes, man. I love it, man. We need some more big boys, on the team for sure. I think that, similar to the offensive line, I think that one other, I'd love us to see us bring in a defensive tackle that is, 320 pounds plus. I know that we've brought in, let me get his name right. I think Anquan Barnes, can play inside 315. He's by far right now the biggest guy that we have on the defensive line. Chidozie Nwankwo, he's going to be great, especially against the run. Plays bigger than his size. He says he looks up to Aaron Donald a lot. I mean, it really makes a lot of sense with how he plays. And then in terms of linebacker, I would love us to bring in some more linebackers. I think Bentley and Demoy Kennedy, they're probably better in a rotational or like a substitution role rather than bringing them out as stars. So if we can just bring in some linebackers that are very athletic and instinctual, I mean, that's nothing, that's not rocket science or anything groundbreaking or new, but I would love us to bring in some players that we see as substantial upgrades at that position as well.
Yeah. I agree, man. I don't have no linebackers right now that I can right off the head right now that I can name. I thought, to be honest, I thought Trevor did an excellent job sliding down the linebacker last year. He filled the gaps when he needed to. He's a little undersized because he was coming from safety, but I mean, that's a hard position to play. And it's not easy to play linebacker on the field. Although Trevor's so smart that he made the adjustment well. And when you have to fill the gaps, and that's what we were missing last year with the, on the line, some guys were out of their gaps, and the linebackers were not filling the gaps when they need to, and that's what stops the run. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't happen a lot last year. We didn't see that, so that's why you're like, we need linebackers and we need more defensive line, a run stopper. No, what was happening was, like I said, guys on the defensive line last year were kind of freestyling, doing their own thing instead of trying to fill the gap and their assigned gap, and that's what was causing a lot of the duress that was going on that we were seeing out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now you got some guys in there that's disciplined that will fill these gaps. And I think, look, man, you got Quincy Wiggins, Samuel, Anquan Barnes, you got Chidozie, you got Bishop Thomas. I mean, like, there's Keaton Wade. They brought in the guys to fill those roles to make the changes. Now, being in doing your assignment on the field has a very, very strong significance of how successful that defense will look. And that's it right there. Just being where you need to be, man. Being where you need to be is important. And they was not all the time. And I believe these guys will. And you'll see the change in it. And you'll say, okay, I understand what he was saying now,
No doubt. I think we will definitely get an improvement. Yeah.
No, he said we need linebackers. Who is Prime looking at right now for a linebacker? You know what?
I got no idea.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I mean, you want me to throw some linebackers out there right now that I think, man, there was a few linebackers that was out there.
Let me check 24/7 here real quick.
Yeah, me too, man. Cause I'm like, whoa, dude. I'm like, linebackers.
Yeah, let me see if I can read. All right. Here we go. We'll find the linebacker position. Yeah, there are still some available.
Get that pulled up there so we can so I can see the screen for you.
Yeah. Also, Bodie, thank you so much again for the super chat, your generosity. That's always greatly appreciated. And we're going to get you some answers. My guess in terms of who they're looking at, it's probably some of the best available right now in the portal. That would be my hope. So let's see. All these guys are committed. These freaking ads, man.
Yeah, that went fast, man. They went fast. Linebackers go up there and they go fast, man. You know what I mean?
We got a 88 Princeton guy.
Look, they're gone, right? They're gone.
Yeah, Corey Flag from Miami.
Okay.
Hey, we got this Jackson Bratton guy from UAB that hasn't signed. He was a 4-star guy coming out of high school. We got some guys from USC. Again, guys, I am not a uh, I don't know what you call
You know
me,
what?
but
I know about him. Jonathan Horton. I watched
oh
the
yeah,
ACC. Yeah, I could tell you a little bit about
yeah,
Jonathan Horton. I like his play from you know what I'm saying. Look, if anybody, if that's more one of Coach Prime's guys right there. That's one of the guys he probably be looking at right there.
mhm.
Um, you know what? My question to you, Bodie, would be why do y'all think we need linebackers so bad? Why do y'all think we need linebackers so bad? That is like, you know what I mean? And I get it that the linebacker play wasn't up to everyone's standards, but you have to remember too, though, with the linebackers, some guys were out of space. You know, there was a lot of flip flopping going on.
Mhm,
They were not in the right spots where they needed to be on the field at the present time.
mhm,
I really, Demoy Kennedy was one of the best linebackers in college coming up, y'all. Like he's no joke. I mean, he didn't have a good year last year. Granted, you know what I'm saying. He
mhm.
didn't. That's because he didn't know what he was doing in Charles Kelly's defense. Let's just be honest, you know. And a lot of people were struggling with that, and it wasn't just him. But Demoy Kennedy is a dog. He is. He's a dog. And it's just mind-boggling to think that so much that you guys think that you need linebackers so much. I really honestly don't think that that's a must-need position. That's why I think that Coach Prime has not attacked that position, or that staff has not hit on that position or hinted anything towards that, because they're okay with what they have there at that position. Each position gets a grade on what they need and how they're performing. And I believe the linebackers did well enough to not be replaced, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure that they'll grab some guys out there to, to put more people in the room, add competition to the position, because that's a coach he is. But I mean, really though, I really don't think so. But look, we'll find out with that. We'll find out if that's something that he's looking at. I'm sure I'm sure you guys do want more linebackers, because you were not okay with the linebacker play. But a lot of that falls on where your defensive linemen are in their assignment too, to help you do your job at linebacker. So let's
Mhm.
remember that too, guys. Like with the upgrades that you guys got on the defensive line will significantly help the linebackers. It will.
Yes. I love that point, because I mean, I kind of look at it a little bit differently where I would prefer, but you're totally right that the defensive line has a significant amount of influence on the performance of these linebackers, just like a running back relies on their offensive line, you know? And I think our running backs were better than how they showed last year, and that's not their fault.
Right.
I think with Trevor Woods, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Um, I kind of looked at his move to linebacker as more as a necessity because none of the linebackers were ready. But it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to put on the weight. I think he was picked on because of his size, but if he's able to add size with speed and keep that speed that he has for the linebacker position, he could have a much better season next year.
I love Trevor
Um,
Woods, man. He remind me of John Lynch, man. I love Trevor Woods, bro. I'm telling you, like, hey, I got a John Lynch jersey upstairs. I got the old school cream. I got the old school Buccaneers John Lynch.
yeah,
Look, man. I don't know. A lot of people might not know about John Lynch, but
man,
that's
I
what
I
originally
love John Lynch, man, out here in Denver, man. We're a fan, but I think, man, how I look at it is I don't know if we have a game-changing athlete right now
hmm
at the linebacker position,
hmm
and I just want that so bad.
I get it, man. I get it. I get it, y'all. I know. I understand. I get it. They probably like, what do you mean we don't need no linebacker? I get it, y'all. Like, but to be honest though, like he'll get that. He'll, trust in that process. Trust in that process that the linebackers will come if they're needed. But like I said, each position is graded on what they do throughout the season. He said because our linebackers did not make any big plays. That no, they didn't. They didn't. That's a fact. They did
Yeah,
not make any big plays, but he was plugging the holes as best as he could last year, and a lot of people did not know what to do. Jalen Rushing, we're winning it all next season, brother. Yeah, for sure. Like y'all look, y'all defense right now, the way it is right now in the Big 12, right now in the defense, you can argue that's the best defense in the Big 12 right now. But I said top three, none less, no less than the third defense.
Man, you
And
heard it
right
here
now on
first.
paper, right now on paper, the way that defense looks right now, CU's defense is a dominant defense in the Big 12 right now with
Oh
the
man.
linebackers and everything right now. So I'm sure that they'll make the adjustments and they'll get the linebackers they need there. But they were in the holes, and I like the way Trevor's undersized and he was there. He was getting bullied, pushed around, but he was in the gaps. He was causing havoc. And all the times you don't make big plays. The big play might be for me to run in the gap, get blocked, and give the opportunity to Shiloh to make the tackle. That might be the play. It may not
Mhm.
be all the time. The shine don't come with just always making plays, getting interceptions. That don't happen all the time like that. Sometimes you have to do your part to help somebody else is better. That's why it's a team game. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. I got you. I want to give credit, shout out right now to Man Above. Became a YouTube member of the channel, one of the official fellas. You get those special emojis I created.
And
So have a hell of a time with those, man. What's up?
no, and I said, shout out to him, man.
Oh
Thank you
yeah,
for
no,
becoming
I
a member on
appreciate
my
it.
man's channel, man.
But yeah, I'm wondering if Trevor Woods moves back to safety. You know,
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to see. But a solid gold, man, you're crazy, man. Chubby and solid gold, y'all please do a
He
show
said,
together,
let's
man.
stop. He
We
not
need
John
that.
Lynch.
We
No, I
need
said
that.
I didn't say he was John Lynch. Get it right. I said he reminds me of John Lynch.
Oh
Like
man.
kill me with they be killing me with that. Like they wait for to hear that one little word or that one little thing, and then they be like, I'm on him for that. I'm getting at him like, nah, like bro. I said he reminds me of John
That's
Lynch.
what makes it fun, man.
Yeah, it does. It
But,
does. It does.
but man, it's gonna be fun to see what else we address. I freaking hope we bring in a linebacker. I'm just telling you, Chubby. I don't want Bentley on the field starting next year. I think if he is the starter next year, he will have a better year. But yeah, I just want to see us making better plays. But I got to get to this last super chat, and then we'll start wrapping this up. Again,
All right.
appreciative of everybody's time. Bodie,
Man,
I'm saying it, and David knows I've been saying this. Colorado Buffs win the national championship next season. Man, you better throw $50 on it when those odds come out. Man, I love it. I feel like the staff. I mean, their goal right now is national championship or bust. I want to see it, man. I want to see this team a winner. I want to see it. But yeah, you know, I'll be posting or putting a little bit of money down on the Buffs when those 2024 national title odds come out. What about you? You throw 20 on there or something like that?
I'm throwing, man. Look, you know I am. You know I'm gonna throw some bread on that. I definitely want him to be successful without a doubt, man. I love us, shoot, man. I love Coach Prime, man. I've been following him since I was a younger man. I can't even way back Techno Bowl days type deal when when they recreated it again. I love him though. He said Lynch was a dog for real. Glad I got to see him play for sure. He was. He was. And that's what I meant by that. Like I like the way that Trevor Woods attacks the game, the way that he steps in there with that heart. He plays with heart. Like you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? Even though he was undersized, he still went in there and played linebacker, undersized, and gave it his all. And that's what I meant. Like, you know, with the analogy, like he
Yeah.
reminds me of him. He really does, man. He gets in there, you know. But hopefully he can move back to safety and y'all get y'all linebacker that y'all so badly want. You know what I'm saying? So badly. I'm hoping y'all get him. I'm
Man,
hoping
you're
y'all get
cracking
y'all
me
one.
up, man. You
I hope y'all get one, man. I do. I hope y'all get one for your sake, man. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't think I think they're on there. I think that there's somebody already there that can play the position. But Charles Kelly's defense is you have to be, it's down to every fine detail. And if you're out of position on that defense, the defense will look crappy. Positions will look crappy. Everybody, it takes everybody to do their job in order to
Mhm.
win games and in order for things to run smoothly. And they were not doing that last year. Let's just be honest. A lot of people were out of place, didn't know left from right, up from down, what gap to hit, what technique they were doing that play. They didn't know that they were supposed to be subbing, is why 12 people was on the field 3 different times and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you, man.
thank you. Thank you, the man above. I appreciate you too, man.
Oh man, I love that.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to throw that up there, Chubby man. I know we got to be wrapping up, but
Yeah, man. We
man,
was
I love having you on here. I love what we got going on. We didn't get a chance to get your channel linked before we hopped live, but everybody watching, you can subscribe to Chubby's channel. It's linked in the description of my video, but why don't you let us know, man? You got any videos or shows coming up that people should keep an eye out for?
man, just make sure y'all go to Truck and Chubby on YouTube, my ex Instagram, add me. I'm on TikTok also. Add me and hit y'all notification bells because I just drop videos whenever. I normally go live every Saturday at
Yeah.
6:30, but I'm gonna be taking this weekend off to spend so much family time. I need it, with the family. So, and I hope that y'all do the same too, man. Thanks for having me. Merry Christmas to all you guys and Happy New Year's. Look, enjoy.
Man, I love it. I love it. Thanks again for joining. Hey, want to give a shout out to our boy D Time, man, one of our USC fans. Don't bro, don't have to compare that dude to John Lynch. Nah, man, Chubby, this is why I like bringing you on the show, man. I like your takes. I love talking football with
Always.
you, and I love how we don't always agree on everything, man. That's
Right.
what makes this thing fun and entertaining.
So please don't ever compare that dude to Lynch. Like I love I love it. I would like to see more of that. Like, so the way that who would you think plays like John Lynch? Who plays like John Lynch? He does. He reminds me of him. And
What about
maybe
Shiloh?
hold up. Maybe I'm just saying that because because he's what I mean,
Because he's
because
a
he's a
white
white
boy.
boy. Yeah, if he wasn't a white boy, maybe I'd be saying something else. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't say Urlacher. Like, nah, I ain't say that. Nah, I ain't say Urlacher. I ain't say Urlacher. Could have went with Urlacher, you know what I'm saying? No, but that's what I'm known for, y'all. That's what y'all gonna see when y'all hit my channel, man. Y'all gonna see a lot of bold statements. I got a lot of bold takes, unorthodox takes, and that's what you're gonna get from me. You're gonna get a different take. You're not gonna get with the popular opinion with everything. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna see something different from me, and that's what I love doing, and I explain it and everything. So look, man, it's all fun and games. I appreciate all the comments out there. You did.
Man, I absolutely love it. Well, we'll get going. I'll get wrapping this up. Again, thank you so much for joining, Chubby. And thank you so much for D Time, everybody else in the chat, our channel members, everybody, man. The chat was absolutely fire and hilarious as always. So YouTube link is in the channel or is in the description of my channel. So please go subscribe to Chubby there. Until next time, guys, that will be sometime soon. But yeah, Seaton signed. Go celebrate. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that, and Sco Buffs.
Scope Buffs.